Morning. To start, you can either sit cross-legged or just on your knees, whatever is more comfortable. If you feel like you'd rather prop yourself up on a pillow or a block or something, you can go ahead and do that as well. And just to start, you're gonna bring your hands behind your head. And you're just gonna think about like sort of using the underside of your hands, your fingers are clasped together, of lifting up the base of your spine ever so slightly, so you have a little tuck in your chin. And then from here, you're just gonna nod your chin a little bit more, lengthen through the back of the neck, and round forward over your legs. And then stack your spine up nice and tall. And then again, rounding forward. Breathing as you move. Thinking about breathing through your whole torso. Your ribs expand laterally and back and forward one more time. And then you're going to pause at the top. And then from here, you're going to think about letting your head be heavy in your hands as you lift up through the sternum, like a baby little extension here, and then stack your spine back on top of itself. And then again, a little bit of extension just through that upper spine. Your sitting bones stay rooted to your heels or the floor, no arch in the back. And again, lift up. Stack your spine tall one more time. And then this time you're gonna round forward, lengthen through the back of the neck, chin stays off the chest. And then you're gonna lift up and add that little bit of extension going through your nice tall spine. And then again, rounding forward. And up. And forward. And lifting up. Last one. Sort of starting to get our spines moving forward and back here. And now we're going to go side to side. So you're going to side bend up and over towards the right. Think about drawing your right rib towards your right hip. And then stack your spine back up. Create that even space from side to side. And then again, reach up and over to the right. Two more. Think about reaching long through both elbows, although they're still in your peripheral vision. And then back up one more time. And up nice and tall. Pause in the center and then over to the left for 4. Same thing, think about widening through the elbows, keeping your chest nice and open. Sitting bones stay heavy. You're not lifting it up on the right side as you lean to the left. Last one. And this time come all the way up and over to the right. And then to the left. And lift up and over to the right. To the left. Lower body is nice and heavy on the floor. One more time to each side here. Last time to the right like this. And over to the left. Good, and then pause in the center. You're going to round forward, and then you're going to open up towards the side, leaning to the right, lift up in the back, find that little bit of baby extension, and then come over to the left side. And then round forward one more time to the right. You can sort of smooth it out if that feels good. Lifting up in the back, not arching that low back. And then when you pause, rounded forward, you're going to stack your spine up tall. And you're going to do the opposite. So round forward, open up towards the left. Bring yourself into that little extension. Over to the right, side bend, round forward. And then again, smooth it out this last time to the left if you'd like. And then from the front, rounded forward, stack your spine up nice and tall. Bring your arms out to the side. You're going to lift them up. And you're going to lower them down as you twist to the right. And then lift them up as you twist to the left. And then again, up and over to the right. You can start to bring one hand a little farther behind you. Make sure you have enough room if there's a wall in your way. Over to the left. 2 more times to each side. Trying to increase that rotation a little bit if you can. Last one to the right like this. Last one to the left. And then lift your arms all the way up, twist to the right. Bring your right hand behind your head. And then you're going to rotate to the center. Your left hand is on the outside of your left thigh. And you're just going to rotate farther, opening up through that torso. And then rotate back towards the center. You don't have to square yourself all the way off. And then as you exhale, twist, inhale, unwind. 2 more. Last one. Using your breath here to kind of assist you get a little bit farther. And then when you find your nice, comfortable twist, plant your right fingertips down towards the floor and just reach back behind you with that left arm. And then come back to the center. Reach your arms all the way up, twist to the left. And then bring your left hand behind your head. Again, square yourself or bring yourself more towards the front and then trying to increase that rotation a little bit more here if you can. Finding that now we've been moving for like 5 minutes or so, you are moving a little bit more easily. Last one. Plant your left hand down now and reach up and back with the right. And then lower yourself all the way down onto all fours. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips. If your feet started to fall asleep, give them a little shake to wake them up. And then from here, you're in this nice all fours position. You're just going to let your belly sink towards the floor. Think about widening the sitting bones, lengthen the collarbone through your arms. And then press the floor away with your hands or shins, the tops of your feet, as you round your spine up towards the ceiling. And again, come through, find that extension, and round your spine. 2 more. And lift. Last one. Round your spine up towards the ceiling. Think about drawing those hips closer towards your ribs, and then find yourself in a nice neutral pelvis. And then from here, you're going to look over your right shoulder as you hike your right hip up towards your right rib, and then lengthen yourself out, and then alternate to the other side. Look over that left shoulder. You're doing this little lateral side bend here. And over to the left. 2 more to each side. Last one to the right. And last one to the left. And then square yourself off here. Extend your right leg back behind you. And then tuck the toes under and then send the heel back towards the wall behind you, getting a nice stretch. And then when you're ready, square yourself off and float your toes up. And then tap it down and lift. And lower, and lift. Keeping those hips nice and square to the floor. Your weight is evenly distributed as possible between those hands. For 3, 2. Last one, bring that knee in underneath you. And then from here, you're just going to send your right fingertips away from you. So you're just resting your weight on your fingertips, and you're going to float that arm up and then tap it down. And then float that arm up and tap it down. Feeling the little X across the front of your body. Right rib to left hip. Left rib to right hip. Kind of supporting you in the center here. 1 more. Hold that arm out, extend that right leg. Bend the knee and elbow underneath. And then extend them long. And then bend it underneath. They don't need to touch. Staying in a nice neutral spine here, so we're not rounding as we go under. 3 more. 2. And last one. and then lower the arm and lower the leg. Switching to the other side, tuck those toes under on the left, reach the heel back, getting a nice calf stretch again. And then when you're ready, lift that leg up, and then tapping it down, and lift. Thinking about lifting from where the hamstring meets the glute. And then again, check in. Has your weight shifted all the way over to the right? For 3, 2, last one, bend your knee underneath you. And then bring your right fingertips out in front of you, and then float that arm up and tap it back down. And lift it up and down. Thinking about that shoulder blade gently sliding in towards your spine for 3, 2, last one, leave it up there, extend your left leg back behind you, bring your knee and elbow underneath and extend long. And then bend it in. Arm is not lifting above your shoulder, rather hand is staying below your shoulder. And bring it in and out. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Extend the arm, extend the leg, lower everything all the way down. From here, tuck those toes under, and then you're going to take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, float your knees up off the floor. Maybe 2 inches, not very much. You're going to hold here and take a nice breath in. And then you're going to let those right toes flick behind you, come right up off the floor, and then tap them down. Switch, point your left foot, toes off the floor, and down. Alternating which toe is off the floor. 3 more. Neck is nice and long. Knees are staying nice and close to the floor. 2. Last one, flick those toes up. Last. And then drop your knees. Bring them a little bit wider. Reach the arms forward and sink yourself back into a nice child's pose here. Take a second, roll your wrists out if you need. And then when you're ready, you're going to come forward onto your stomach. You're going to make a little pillow for your forehead with your hands stacked one on top of the other. And then bring your legs hip width or a tiny bit wider, wherever it feels comfortable for you. And then think about externally rotating from the femur, so all the way up by those hips. Point your right toes. Think about pointing your leg so much that your leg just starts to hover off the floor. If your thigh doesn't lift, who cares? Not about height here, think more length, and then lower all the way back down. And again, staying on that right side, float it up and back down. Take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, try to relax those shoulders, making sure you're not holding a whole bunch of tension here in your shoulders. You don't want them sliding up towards your ears as you lift your leg. Ooh, I did that to show you, and now I have a lovely spasm. 2 more on this right leg. And then lower all the way down, switching sides to the left. Float it up and down. Leg is staying nice and long again. Think about lifting where that glute meets your hamstring. Pelvis is heavy. 4 more. 3, that knee stays nice and straight. 2. Last one. And then from here, you're going to float both legs off and start to flutter kick. Again, keeping the torso quiet for 8, 7, 6, 3, 2. Last one, lower all the way down. From here, bring your hands back by your sides. Bring one cheek to the floor. Let your shoulders round forward and give your hips a little shake from one side to the other. And then you're going to externally rotate through the upper arm. Pick the hands up in line with your hips. From here, reach your fingertips back, bring your nose to gaze along the floor, and then reach through the fingers as you lift through the chest, finding that nice lift, reducing the strain in your low back, thinking about lifting from the mid back rather than the low back. And you're going to float yourself all the way down just until your nose comes to graze the floor. Reach the fingertips and lift back up and lower down. Keeping the upper arms externally rotated, gentle squeeze in towards the spine of your shoulder blades. Glide really more than a squeeze. 2 more like this. And last one. Good, pause here. Bring the arms by your shoulders, palms face down. You're going to extend them out in front of you. Keeping your torso lifted here, take a second to press your hands into the floor, gently tuck that tailbone under. You're going to lift your right arm and lower it down. Lift your left and lower down. Finding a nice minimal rock here from one side to the other as you lift the right arm and then the left. Keeping that small extension here, really focusing on it being in the upper back rather than the lower back. Pubic bone is heavy. Last time to the left. And then reach your fingertips long, lower all the way down, drop your head to the other side. Give your hips a little shake. From here, feel your shoulder blades gently draw down in toward your spine. Bring your nose to graze the mat and then float yourself all the way up, or all the way into that little small extension here. Float the legs off the floor. And then from here, you're going to lift your left leg, right arm. Right leg lowers. And then lower your left leg, lift your right leg, left arm. You're keeping your opposite leg rested on the floor here for now as you alternate in this swimming. Again, legs are nice and long as you lift, focusing on length for 4, 3, 2, don't worry about the height of anything. Last one to each side, left hand, right arm, and then lower everything all the way down. Give your hips a shake, and then press yourself back into a nice child's pose one more time. Round and melt forward towards the floor. Good. And then from here, you're going to come onto your back. Actually, come to sit first. We will roll down because why not? It's Pilates day, so why not do a very classic Pilates exercise? So from here, legs can be bent or straight or somewhere in between, your choice. Spine is stacked. Curl the tailbone under. Think about opening up through the front of your hips. Pelvis is going to be the first thing to lower. Think about your pelvis, or your sacrum rather, getting to be closer to the floor before your shoulders. So increase that. Curl under, reduce the distance in the ribs to the hips. And then when your ribs hit, just uncurl yourself all the way down. Bring the arms up overhead. We'll roll up one more time, because why not? As soon as your arms come in front of your eyes, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Ribs draw towards your hips. Exhale as you round up and over your legs. And then from here, rounding all the way back down. Sacrum towards the floor first. Ribs to hips. Make that distance as short as possible, and then lower all the way back down. From here, bring your legs up into tabletop, one and then the other, and you're going to bring your hands behind your head. You can always drop your feet down to the floor if you prefer and have bent legs. From here, think about reaching the elbows long, but keeping them in the periphery like we did earlier, and then curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. And then from here, just going to lower straight back down. And then slide the ribs towards the hips as you lift, speaking his heart, and back down. 3 more like this. 2. Last one, pause here. Bring your arms in line with your legs. Bend your knees all the way in and then extend them long. Keep your arms long. Bend your legs back in. Extend the legs. and bend it. Only lowering so low towards the ground that your abdominals are not popping out to the ceiling. If they are, you're going to go straight up towards the ceiling. Keep the distance between the ribs and the hips decreasing in this nice curl. Your chin is not rested on top of your chest. Your neck is nice and long. 2 more. Good, bend the knees all the way in, and then lower your head all the way down. Gently rock back and forth from one side to the other. From here, extend your right leg long. Left leg is bent, left leg bent into your chest, right leg long. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Your ribs are drawn towards your hips, and then switch sides, grab onto the opposite shin, and then switch. And switch. Torso stays nice and still here. Again, not worrying about how low your leg is going. If you need, you can always drop your head down. Or you can bring your hands behind your head and just bend and straighten one leg and then the other. 2 more. Last one. Good. From here, extend the right leg long. And then pull in, pull, and then switch. You're going to pull with the right leg as you pull, or with the left as you sort of pulse the right leg down, and then switch, pull in as you pulse, and then switch. You can grab behind your thigh. If grabbing your shin, your ankle doesn't work for you. Anywhere but directly behind the knee. Trying to relax those shoulders. Think about a nice long back of neck. 2 more here. Adding in a few more classical Pilates exercises for Pilates Day, because we never do these. Last one. And then bring your knees in towards your chest, lower all the way down, and gently rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then drop one leg and then the other leg, and come into goalpost arms on the floor. So, not everything. When you are in this goalpost position, check in with your ribs and see what happens. My back ribs want to completely lift off the floor, so I'm going to focus on finding a little bit more width across my back by replacing my arms down on the ground. Now, keeping my ribs glued to the floor in the back, leaving your hands and fingers along the floor, you're just going to reach along the floor as you straighten your arms as far as you can straighten them. It might not be very far. Maybe it will be. And then you're going to bend them back, find that goalpost position. And then again, reach overhead using your breath here. Trying to find maybe a millimeter more each time. We're going to do 4 more of these. Trying to counteract all of the time we spend on phones, computers, all of the things. Carrying kids, groceries. 1 more. And just pause here, check in. Have you maybe straightened your arms a little bit more than you did the first time? If you did, cool. If not, a stretch for you to work on. Take a nice big inhale here. Feel your ribs expand into the floor and to the side, and then exhale. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. Try to reach a little longer away, a little bit farther, keeping those hands on the floor. 1 more time, inhale. And then exhale. Bend your elbows. Bring your arms to your sides. From here, tuck the tailbone under. Feel your low back gently press into the floor. And then peel yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time until you're in this nice little bridge here. Feel the heels gently drawing back towards your shoulders, and then soften through the sternum and really feel yourself melt down. Think about tucking that pelvis under as you lower. So you roll through the whole low back and then the sacrum. And then doing the opposite. So ribs up towards your hips. Feel your ribs gently close here as you peel yourself up. Ribs stay closed. And then sink yourself all the way back down towards the floor. One more time. And lower all the way back down. This time you're going to come up and pause. And you're going to lift your right heel off the floor and then bring your right leg up into tabletop. And then lower it all the way down. Even out the weight in your feet. Staying on that right side, roll through the right foot and then bring that leg up into tabletop. And then lower it all the way down. Feel that heel really connected to the floor, drawing back towards you like you're gonna wrinkle the mat between your heel and your shoulders. One more time. And then lower all the way down. Good. Square yourself off. You can lift your head for a second. Check out your legs. Make sure they're pointing straight out in line with your hips. And then you're going to peel through that left leg and bring it up. And then lower it all the way down. Think like you're squeezing an imaginary ball between your thighs, even though the left leg is moving, so that right leg isn't falling out to the side. And back down. 2 more. Last one. Lowering it all the way down. From here, you're going to float your arms up towards the ceiling. If this is too much, you're going to lower your right arm down. You're going to bring your left leg up to tabletop. And you're going to extend your, right leg. And then you're going to bend it back in. And you're going to extend it. And bend it. One more time like this. Extend. And bend. If this feels good, extend your left arm overhead as you extend your right leg. Pull it back in. Extend. And in. You can always drop your right hand if you want to move to the left. And you need a little bit more stability. Or you could skip the arms altogether. Or you can lower both arms to the floor. Last one. And then bring that leg in and then lower it all the way down. Switching to the left side, bring that leg up to tabletop. Arms stay still. Extend the leg for 4 and draw it back in. 3, 2. Last one. And then for 6, you can add in that arm for 6. Moving nice and slowly with control. 5. Checking in on that right leg. Hips are nice and square. 2 more. And last one. Bend it in, lower it all the way down. Square your hips and then slowly peel yourself all the way down as you bring your arms back overhead. Extend your legs long. You can hook your thumbs if that feels good. Take a nice big stretch. Who cares if your ribs lift? Find what feels good. And then find that connection between your torso and the floor. Arms lift, bring them to your periphery. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Take an inhale here, pause with your shoulder blades off the floor. And then exhale, draw those ribs towards your hips, reach your heels away from you. And stack your spine all the way up. Lovely. We are going to come back into all fours. And we're going to kind of add a whole bunch of things that we've done so far into a bit of a sequence, which we do occasionally, but not that often. So we will add on first, hands underneath your shoulders. You can also do the planking portion of this, the plank into a push-up to the floor of this on your knees. You don't have to be on your feet, so do whatever feels good for you. So from here, if you're coming into a full plank, tuck your right foot under and then your left. If you're in a kneeling plank, you could start there and then drop your knees and untuck your toes. find that opening in the front of your hips regardless. Tailbone is tucked under. From here, you're going to bend your elbows by your side. You're going to lower all the way down to the floor. You're going to lift your arms and your legs off the floor. Find that nice extension. You're going to lower all the way down, tuck the toes under, or feet are curled under. Either way, you're going to press up into a nice plank. Exhale the floor away. All right, perfect. From here, we will add on. Bend the elbows, lower all the way down to the floor. Lift yourself up, find that nice extension. Extend the arms in front of you. Bend them back in. Toes tuck under. Press up. From here, you're going to lift your left leg. You're going to lift your right leg. You're going to lower yourself all the way down to the floor. You're going to lift up, find that extension. Extend your arms. And then you're going to do a little opposite arm leg reach. One to each side. Bring the hands underneath you. Tuck the toes under. Press up. Right leg lifts. Left leg lifts. If you can, I'm going to come to my knees. Right arm lifts. Right leg lifts. Opposite, or both of your arms lift. I have no idea what I just said. From there, coming all the way down to the floor. Lift yourself all the way up. Extend the arms. Right arm, left leg. Opposite. Bring the elbows back in. Tuck the toes under. Press up. Right leg. Left leg. Right arm lifts. Left arm lifts. Curling my toes under, coming into that full plank, lowering all the way down. Lift up, find that extension. Reach the arms long. Opposite arm leg reach here for a bit of swimming. Hands in, tuck the toes under. Press up. Leg lift. Leg lift. Drop to your knees. One arm and then the other. Last time, lowering all the way down. Lift up. Arms extend. Right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. Bring it in underneath you. Curl the toes under. Press all the way up. Right leg. Left leg. I'm going to drop to my knees. Right arm. Left arm. And then from here, everyone drop to your knees, round yourself over your legs. Take a nice big inhale, roll your wrists. Your heart rate also got up, bring it down a little. We're going to do one more planking thing and then we'll move on to some nice gentle things to end class. So from here, coming back onto either your full plank or a kneeling plank, doesn't matter, your choice. You're gonna find your hands right underneath your shoulders, tuck that tailbone under, and then think about looking over the edge of the cliff. You're gonna roll over to your right, open to the right, lift that arm up, and then come back to the center. And then come onto that right hand, open to the left, and come back to the center. So if you're on your knees, you're extending your right leg, left knee to the floor as you open to the right, coming back to the center, and then extending your left leg, staying on your right knee as you open to the left. And then square yourself off. We're gonna do 2 more to each side. Hips are stacked facing forward, not opening up towards the ceiling, lowering all the way back down. Open up to the left. And then to the right. And down to the left and down, and then lift yourself up into a down dog or a child's pose if you prefer that, bending your knees one at a time or both together, whatever feels good. Think about lengthening the crown of your head towards the floor as your tailbone reaches up towards the ceiling. Lift both legs up, bend your knees. Reach your heels back, then untuck your toes and find a child's pose if you are not already there. Walk yourself up and over towards the right. Plant your right hand into the ground. And then press as you reach with those left fingertips. And then walk through the center, up and over to the other side. Press into the floor. My left arm is bent as you reach forward with those right fingertips. And then coming forward, bring your hands underneath your shoulders one more time. And then bring your hand behind your head. And you're going to open out to the right. And then reach it down towards your left wrist. And then open up through the elbow. And back down. 3 more. 2. And last one. And then from here, you're going to reach up and open towards the right, and then you're going to take your right hand, you're going to feed it through to the left, and then open up. And then feed it through, and open one more time. This time you're going to stay there. Bring your shoulder to the ground, your ear to the floor, and reach your left arm up overhead. Thinking about finding this nice twist here. Take a nice big breath in and exhale. One more breath here. And slide your left hand in, press yourself up, square yourself off. I'm going to spin around. Left hand behind your head, and you're going to rotate down towards that right wrist, and then press through the floor as you rotate open towards the left. And down, and open. Two more. Last one. And then from here, open that arm up, reach it through to the right, and then back up and open. And again, reach it through, up and open. This time you're gonna stay. So let that shoulder come towards the ground, find that nice rotation, reach this right arm up overhead, and stay here. Hips are reaching back and up behind you. Two more breaths. And then slide that right arm in, plant it down. Bring your left arm underneath you. And then slide your hips back towards your heels. And from here, you're going to keep your arms out long. And you're going to think about rounding your spine, pushing the floor away. And then you're going to find this little extension here through the upper torso by pulling the heels of your hands back towards your knees. And press away one more time. Really trying to get some movement through the spine here, clearly. Today, that is the goal. And then round yourself all the way up. We're going to finish how we started. So, hands clasped behind your head. Think about lifting up through the base of the skull, lengthening out the spine. Round forward. And then lift up, find that little extension. Just through the upper back, not the lower back. And then round forward. And lift. One more time. And lift. Square yourself off and go over to the right. And left. And over to the right, or left rather. One more time to each side. And we're going to do those nice twists and then the circle. So pause at the top, twist and rotate open to the right, and then go all the way to the left and all the way to the right and left. Once more. Good. Pause in the center. Round your spine forward. Open up and over to the right. Lengthen yourself up. Find that extension. Over to the left. Round forward. You can smooth it out. We're going to do 3 total in each direction. And then round forward, pause here. Open up towards the left. Find that extension. Over to the right. And round forward. And then again, smooth it out for 2 more circles. Last one. And pause here. Lift your arms up overhead. Externally rotate. Feel your shoulders gently fall down. Press down. Think about growing nice and tall. And let your arms find your sides. And you are all finished. Thanks.